Okay, I think we're ready. Roll the titles. Hi folks, and welcome back. Now we've decided to upgrade our equipment, and we have decided to go for this, which is the DJI Osmo action camera. See there? Roughly about £300. Okay. We've decided that for a couple of reasons. We want to have the ability to have the front facing screen, and we wanted something we could change the frame rates and the exposure, ISO, white balance, and we could have a dedicated mic on. So that's a couple of reasons that we thought. We did a bit of research, and it seems that this is the best one to go for and the best value. So we'll see how this works out. We'll do a couple of reviews and we'll see how it works out. Now, when you get your Osmo Action, you get a box, obviously, and in the box you will get a cage. It's called a cage, just like that one, and you get these couple of mounts for whatever, and your charging cable, and that's basically it. Now, the first thing you actually have to do is you have to put in a micro SD card. We went for a 64, I think it's a region 3 card, so that goes in there just on the side next to the charging port. Now, the first thing that we had to do after you put your micro SD card in, first thing we had to do was we put in screen protectors. Let me show you them. Just there. Okay, and what that is, just obviously it's just screen protector. You get 3. One goes on the circular on here, one on there, another one back, and you get 2 in the box. So I've just written on there what that was for. I don't know if you can see that. Am I writing? Just so I don't forget what the screen protectors are for. Okay, and then we thought let's connect our mic, because we've got one of these Rode mics, which is a jack connection, and we thought, well, let's just connect that. No, what you have to do is you have to get one of these from a company called Sinova. It's a mic adapter for the DJI Osmo. Now what you have to do, let me show you this. This door has to come off. Okay, put that away, and this goes on just here. Let me just show you, just there, like that. Okay, now the problem now, that cage doesn't fit, so we had to buy a new cage. Okay, so let me put that off again, and this is the cage that we went for from a company called PGY Tech, which we've got things for before, and pretty good. So, and based on recommendations that we saw, we thought this is the cage to go for. Okay, so that goes on like that, and then that will fit on there, right? So we can have the cage and we can have the sound adapter, mic adapter. Problem is now that's no longer waterproof. Okay, because we don't have the door on it anymore. So it's something to bear in mind. If you want to have the sound, you can have the sound, but you can have the mic, but you can't have the waterproof. or vice versa. Okay, so mic goes on. We're going to put the mic on the side, so we're going to take this one off. See, it comes with that one as well. We can have a wee tripod adapter on the side, but we're going to have the mic on there. So let's see, mic goes on there like that, and then plugs in like that, and we're good to go. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go down the beach and check this mic and see exactly what it sounds like. So let's go down the beach. Well, I thought we could come down the beach today and do a wee test on the sound quality of this mic, but as you can hear, there's hardly a breath of wind today. Let me show you where we are. Okay, so Ari's having a good time though. Yeah. So as long as she's enjoying herself, that's fine. One of the reasons we wanted to come down to the beach was to check this rock steady, the DJI image stabilization software. So that's why we're making it backwards. We're walking backwards, just to make it look a bit different. And the lighting's better this way. Okay, so let's see how that is. It's starting to get a wee bit windy here as well, so hopefully the noise is working out okay with the mic. Okay, that looks steady, rock steady even. Let's check it and see. Well, we review the footage and we'll see how it is. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed our short trip down the beach. You know, sometimes we forget how lucky we are. This is 5 minutes for our house. And not too shabby. Okay, see you soon. So I was back for the beach, and I think that went okay. Let me just change these. I think that went okay. I think what we would have noticed there is the sound is better with the microphone. Okay, so I think we all this faffing about with cages and the adapters. I think it's going to be worth it. Okay, the other thing that we wanted to talk about was the cold shoe mounts. 2 cold shoe mounts on this cage. A cold shoe is not a hot shoe. Now, a hot shoe, anybody that's worked in photography or has dabbled in photography will know what a hot shoe is. It's that part there that takes an accessory, usually a flash like that. Okay, and produces puts power to the flash so that when it will sense that we've got a flash, and when we press the button, press the shutter, it will fire the flash. That's what a hot shoe does, because it talks to the flash. Okay, now this doesn't allow, because a cold shoe doesn't allow any connection to the camera, between the camera, obviously you'll have to connect that camera to the mic, but that's not through the hot shoe, that's through the wee thing. And we are planning on adding a light, right, being like this to the other cold shoe, okay, but it's no way connected to the camera because it's a cold shoe. Okay, so the light we got is this wee thing here. See, it's quite nice, quite a nifty wee thing. It's let me see, 120 bi-color LED video light from VJim. That is a company linked to Ulanzi. I think they own it, or Ulanzi International Group. Come to the box. Okay, so it was about 30 quid, which I thought was a bit of a bargain, or Snaption, as they say in Germany. So this is what you get your wee light, and you also get a diffuser, which looks quite tasty, and you get a bag of filters, different coloured gels. So I think what happens is you put the gel in there, and then you put that light on there, and then we can get a different coloured light. Okay, what you can also do is we can also change the colour temperature of the light. Let me just double check. From 3200, which is tungsten, up to 6500 Kelvin, which is daylight. I forgot what daylight was there. So we can change a stepless change. So it's just a wee, what one is it? It's one of these. We can change. It's just a wee wheel that we just turn, and we can move it from 3200 up to 6500 Kelvin. If we want to change the colour temperature, if we're working inside, whatever. And it's got a 3100 milliampere hour battery, so it should last quite a while. I think they say it lasts 12 hours, but maybe I might have dreamt that, because I don't think that's going to last 12 hours, but we'll see. Fully charged it, and we'll see how long it lasts before we charge it again. Okay, let me just turn it on. So that's it. And is that it quite bright? That's as bright as it'll go. Let me put it in the dark here. And we can turn it down, and we can change the colour temperature. So that'll be tungsten, and that'll be daylight. Thereabouts. Okay, and we get 4 wee lights here to tell us what the charge is, and a wee charging port, and we get our tripod mount. Let me just turn that off. Okay, so that's why we got this. One of the reasons we got this, apart from the reviews, because I believe reviews. I'm a bit gullible, but I believe them. Okay, so that goes on there just like that. Okay, and that kind of completes our setup, nearly. One more thing that we need to talk about: filters. If you're going to be shooting any kind of video, you really should be thinking about getting some ND filters. ND just means neutral density, and what it's going to do is it's going to change the amount of light that gets into your camera and makes it less. And in this case, it's 8, 16, 32 and 64 times less. So if we think it's a wee bit too bright, rather than change the exposure in the camera, which you can do, but what we want to do is we want to keep the frame rate at 25. Okay, so we're going to shoot at 4K, 25 frames a second, and we need to keep the, according to the 180 rule, we need to keep the shutter speed at 50. Okay, now in a bright sunny day like today, that's going to be, it could be a bit of an issue. So we're going to, if we can adjust the ISO to compensate, then fine. If not, we need to add some filtration to reduce the amount of light getting into the camera. We'll do a whole video on these, but that's basically what I'm talking about. Now we've got these ones specifically from a company called Neewer. I think that, yeah, definitely Neewer, because we've had a few things from them and they are pretty decent. These are also polarizing filters, so not only neutral density but polarizing it, so we can do weird and wonderful things with reflections or lack of. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. So I think we're just going to wrap it up there. I think that'll be long enough. We'll probably bored you enough. So we'll have each video. We'll talk about the light. We'll have another video. We'll talk about the mic and the sound. And we'll have another video just about the camera, and maybe one on the filtration. We'll play about with these things, and we will see if we can try and make that interesting. What I'm going to try and do is try and incorporate different things. So we will have hopefully other products to try out. Maybe I'm hoping we get some maybe some Ridge Monkey things, or cooking aids, or pots and pans, or something motorhoming that we can try out. And at the same time, we can make a video on techniques and camera techniques and photographic theory that would be interesting, rather than just say, here's a camera and this is how it's at shutter speed and blah 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 blah. This is what an aperture is. This is what shutter speed is. Let's have a real world test at the same time on something else that we can combine the two, which I think could be quite interesting. Let me know what you think down below, and if you could like or dislike, either or, lets me know that we're doing something right or something wrong. That'd be fine. And if you could subscribe, we would appreciate that. Only because it lets us know that people are watching, and I'm not sitting here in the driveway like a sado talking to myself. I'll leave you in that thought. Okay? Another day